What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are back with the top 16 from the German Vault Tour. On the left, we've got Jeff Kramer with Kendrick, the expert of Rain or River, a Dis Shadows Untamed deck, Free Glimmer, 2 Free Fates, couple Life for a Life and Onyx Knight, 2 routine jobs, some cool stuff in there. And on the right, we've got Dennis Berghoff, who I believe we saw on stream as well yesterday, because I remember how his name was very similar to Dennis Bergkamp, a Dutch footballer who was big when I were a wee lad. And he's got a Dis logo Shadows deck, couple the Terror, Neutron Shark, Treasure Map. This is starting to look a little bit familiar. I believe we actually saw both of these players yesterday. Although having said that, I don't think we saw either of these decks. I could be wrong. Point is, we've got a couple good players, a couple good decks. We're in top 16 at this stage. Now, I believe Jeff did actually make top 16 at the Eindhoven Vault Tour, because I did a sealed event in Birmingham, and there were 8 of us, and I think like 4 of them had made top 16 in Eindhoven, and I opened, and I'm not exaggerating, of like the 20 odd decks I've got, it's my worst deck. In a 3-round tournament, I forged 2 keys, and I told someone this. I was like, how did it go? And I was like, I forged 2 keys. And they were like, oh, that's quite good then, you almost won. Because you've got to forge 3 keys to win a game. And I went, no, I forged 2 keys in 3 games. I got absolutely smashed. And I'm not talking like I got smashed in one particular game. I got smashed in the entire sealed tournament. Like my 3 games combined lasted like 20 minutes. It was, frankly, a bit embarrassing. The good news is I did a second sealed tournament later on in the day and I went 3-0. Redeemed myself. I then went, I think, 3-1 in the staff challenges when people came to challenge me. I won 3 of my 4 games. So it went a lot better after that. And I beat Josh on stream. I want that on the record. So my record in Birmingham over the weekend as a whole was good, but that sealed tournament with Jeff was bad. So starting off then, we've got Dennis. He plays down a Silvertooth. Silvertooth comes into play active. He reaps for 1 amber and passes off to Jeff. Jeff, for his time, he plays a routine job, steals the only amber that Dennis has. I don't like these tokens, Jeff. I don't like these amber. Plays a Whistling Darts to gain himself a 2nd amber, do a damage to Silvertooth, gets himself down a Gamgee, and then draws up for the end of his turn. When I spoke to Jeff in Birmingham, he was delighted. It was the UK Games Expo. He'd found somewhere to buy those tokens. But I'm going to be honest with you, Jeff, if I'd have known you were going to use them on stream, I'd be less happy. So, he gets himself a Relentless Whispers to take out the Gamgee, gets himself a Shadow Self down, and he's up to 3 amber now. He's stolen his amber back. 3 Fates. 3 Fates comes down, takes out both his creatures, and, yeah. Let's just say Jeff does not want any creatures down. Right, we got... How did I not notice the library access earlier? Now, he's got 1 Phase Shift, no Wild Wormhole. They are the most important cards to look for in a Phase Shift deck. But he plays down a Valiant Analyst and gets himself an amber. And then he plays down a Titan Mechanic, gets himself an amber. Card's not amber. Plays himself down a Bat Drone. Oh, uses Phase Shift to get a Toxin. Now remember, you draw a card for the Phase Shift, then a card for the Toxin. So he's got himself a good turn here. Now he plays Dr. Esco Terror. Now, that was a great library access. Now remember, library access gets purged when you play it. But that was a good turn. Oh, it's still going. It's got Experimental Therapy. This creature belongs to all houses, but when you play it, you stun and exhaust the creature. So he's got himself a good battle line of Logos creatures, and he's played all his Logos cards, or a lot of them, so he's going to have a really good non-Logos hand. One of the things people often underestimate about library access is after playing a great Logos turn, you often got a great Shadows or Dis hand, for Dennis, left over afterwards. So... oh, got a couple of creatures going down there. Then 3 Fates comes down to take down another 3 creatures. Now, because they're both 2 power creatures, Jeff gets a choice as to which one he takes out. Even though... oh, he's going for the Bat Drone. See, Experimental Therapy, you can exhaust it regardless of what turn it is, and then you've got a creature for every house. But then again, Bat Drone steals an Amber, so I think you had to, when it fights, I think you had to go after the Bat Drone, but it wasn't an easy decision. Ember Imp comes down. Jeff can now only play 2 cards on his turn. Hand of Dis comes down. There is no creature not on a flank, so that was actually just a discard, not playing it. There's nothing to actually denote a card being discarded rather than played, other than you look and the effect hasn't happened. It's one of the fun challenges of commentating Keyforge. So, cagey game to start. Jeff's been doing a wonderful job of just destroying all of Dennis's stuff. So, okay. So he is able to take out the Ember Imp there. But that's his only turn. It's taking out the Ember Imp. So Urchin comes down, steal an Amber. Ghostly Hand comes down. Now Dennis will gain 2 Amber for doing this, but unfortunately Jeff has 3, so he's not going to get any more. But Dennis does end on check, so that's quite nice. Oh, now Glimmer. Now Glimmer is an alpha card, so you don't want more than 1 in your hand. You can only play 1 per turn, but you can use it to get any card back from your discard pile. Looks like he's actually going to get 3 Fates down. And, oh, Soldiers to Flowers. No untamed creatures to purge, so just the Amber for playing it. He's not playing the 3 Fates yet. He's keeping it for later, essentially. He would have to take out his own Dust Nora if he played it. So I think he's he's keeping it in hand. I mean, bearing in mind, right, he's on an untamed turn. He can't play it this turn. He's untamed, not this. But there is a question of, do you play it now or do you stash it for later? You probably don't recover it if you're stashing it for later, so maybe that tells us Jeff is going to go for a Dis next turn, especially given that he actually plays 3 Glimmer in his deck. That's not bad. So Dennis here, he's forged his first key, and Jeff is not on check. So Dennis has a little bit of a speed advantage here. He's got the first key, and he knows that Jeff is going to not forge a key next turn. Incidentally, Jeff is actually playing an Age of Ascension deck here against Call of the Archons. I think we've seen one Age of Ascension deck today and it lost. So we see a Snudge come down. And we see that Valiant Analyst just getting rid of the stun. And Shula there, it looks like it's got a Flame Reaved on it. +2 power and Hazardous 2. Cool. Yeah, because the only other one he's got is Collar of Subordination, and why would you put that on your own creature? Oh, we saw a great Collar of Subordination play yesterday where somebody let their opponent play a Dusk Witch and then immediately stole it with Collar of Subordination because they actually got to... And no one ever gets to use Dusk Witch. It always gets destroyed straight away, but they actually did. That was good. So Jeff here is very much on the back foot. He hasn't forged a key. He's not forging a key this turn. His battle line is not quite as impressive as his opponent's. So he needs to get something rolling here. He's a good player. He's in top 16. He's clearly got a good deck. But you find this with even the best players. There are turns where you're just behind. And you need to figure out something to try and actually fix this. So, what's he got, ladies and gentlemen? What's he got? So he plays down another Glimmer. Now, like I say, there are 3 in his deck. I got a deck with 3 Glimmer in, and one of the things that's really annoying with it being an alpha card, if you have more than 1 alpha card in your hand, you literally can't play it. You just can't play it. Because you can only, once you play it, that's got to be the first thing you do during your doing stuff turn. Now, Dust Nora there is going after the Snudge. Does have Hazardous 2 though because of that Flame Reaved, so looks like he might be changing his mind about that. I mean, Glimmer's a 1 power creature, it's only really good. I suppose it could take out the Urchin, but it's probably only good for reaping. Now Jeff's just trying to decide where he actually wants it. Okay, so he does use Rust Nora, but instead takes out the Analyst, not the Snudge. And you see Flame Reaved there doing its job. Fang House comes down. Flame Reaved stopped him using the what he wanted to do. It stopped him taking out the creature he wanted to take out. So he does reap with Glimmer, and he does put himself on 6 amber, but he's only got 6 amber. And, well, we got Shadows. Speaking of which, like, how many decks have we had on stream without Shadows this time? I mean, Shadows still best deck. Like, Shadows is huge. Everyone loves some Shadows. But as it stands, if he can just get rid of 1 amber, so he's gone for Shadows, he reaps with Urchin. Down comes Lights Out, just to get a couple creatures back to Jeff's hand. Clearly not going to give him a Glimmer back. Oh, Miasma comes down. So Jeff's not forging a key next turn. Now, Dennis is not on check. He's only got 5 amber. He needs 6 to be on check and forge a key. But as it's... Oh, Free Fates finally comes down. Takes out... You did save it for a turn. Takes out a couple of creatures, including one of his own Glimmers. And it looks like he's actually got a Tesmal down. Can't use it this turn, but in future turns he can demand his opponent not use a particular house. It's a very Geiger look to the artwork on Tesmal as well. Okay. Oh, Treasure Map! And that's his turn. You can use cards if you play Treasure Map, but you cannot play any other cards. Not to get the free amber. So that was a really good turn just for generating amber. That's all it did. So Treasure Map gives you an amber. If you've not played any other cards this turn, gain free. For the remainder of the turn, you cannot play cards. Now, there's nothing on his field to use, so he couldn't play anything or use anything. But it wasn't actually free amber. Because of the amber bonus you get on Treasure Map, there was actually 4 amber. That's good. Like, that's really good. But he has nothing on his board. So, don't get me wrong, good play. I stand by it being a good play. But it's also kind of a risky, nerve-wracking play. Because what if it doesn't work out? He's got no board. He's got nothing to do. And all he's got is his amber. So now Jeff's building up. He's got his Fang House and his Rust Nora back down. So Jeff's now, he's building up a battle line that his opponent just doesn't have. But he's forged 1 key, and he's got a lot less amber than his opponent. So, question is, what does he have here? Now, he just played a Life Web. If your opponent played 3 or more creatures on their previous turn, steal 2. Well, he played no creatures on the previous turn, so sad face. Now, we do see a Collar of Subordination coming in here to steal the Tesmal. And now he can reap with Tesmal, and now Jeff is locked out of one of his houses. So we saw Tentacus and the Terror coming down. That was quite nice. We also saw Dennis forge his 2nd key, and now Dennis is sitting there with 2 forged keys and 4 amber to Jeff's 1 forged key and I want to say 2 amber. Oh, but he plays Glimmer to play the Life Web, but I don't think that counts. I don't think he gets that. Collar of Subordination reads, you control this creature. Life Web, I think Jeff's made a mistake here, because Life Web reads, if your opponent played 3 or more creatures, steal 2 amber. But Dennis didn't play 3 creatures. Dennis played 2 creatures and took control of a creature. That is not the same thing. Life Web should not steal those 2 amber, and it looks like it hasn't, incidentally. So it looks like Dennis has gone, well, you know, take a different card. So I think it was one of those situations, and Fang House here just attacking the Tesmal, taking it out. Now, remember, because of the Assault 3, it actually deals 3 before the fight happens, so it doesn't take any damage back. And then we see Rust Nora going after the Terror, and we've got Tentacus. Oh, we got Save the Pack. That was a really nice play there. Save the Pack destroys each damaged creature. So what Jeff did there was use weak creatures just to put a bit of damage on them, knowing that they wouldn't get destroyed, so that he could then play Save the Pack to destroy them. So it was a really nice play from Jeff there. I don't think he's... No. Those keys, especially that yellow key, Jeff, I'm sorry, they're not great for streaming. They're lovely, but they're not great for streaming. So, we get a Ganymede Archivist coming down. And, Neutron Shark, do. Destroy an enemy creature or artifact and a friendly creature or artifact. Discard the top card of your deck. If it's not a Logos card, trigger it again. Now it was, so we're good. Oh, but Bouncing Death Quark. Destroy an enemy creature and a friendly creature. Do it as much as you want, but you've got to destroy one of each. So between the pair of them, he completely clears the board. And now his play with like Treasure Map earlier was really good. Treasure Map was a great play as long as your opponent's not building up a giant board. But he's not. That's good from Dennis. Didn't build up his own board, but stopped his opponent building up his. So we do see Jeff here playing a Soldiers to Flowers, purging, I think it was 5 untamed creatures and gaining an amber for each one that he purged, plus, 4, plus gaining an amber for playing it. So we see an interdimensional graft coming down. If your opponent forges the key on their next turn, they've got to give you their remaining amber. Great turn to play it, because your opponent has no choice. They've got to forge the key. So he played that knowing that he was going to get 2 amber from Dennis. And now he's sitting there with 7 amber. And Dennis has been able to gain a whole bunch of amber here without being able to keep anything off the board. So we're at 2 keys each. But Dennis has got 7 amber and Jeff concedes. Jeff says, I've got no way to get rid of your amber, and interdimensional graft wins him the game. That was a very, very well played game. We saw some really good plays from both players, and as it stands, that was just good. Both players played really well. We almost saw a mistake with a life web. What often happens in Keyforge is, because it's quite a complicated game, players go, will this work? And then the players decide, and I think that's what happened there. The players decided it wouldn't work, so Jeff went, right, ain't doing that then. And he did something else instead. Congratulations to Dennis. Commiserations to Jeff. That was a very good game, a very well played game on the part of both players. But unfortunately, that interdimensional graft at the end was too gosh darned good. We are rocking through these rounds today, ladies and gentlemen. That was your top 16 game. We got 3 rounds left. We got top 8, we got top 4, and then we've got the final. Yes, I will be here for all 3 of those rounds. So grab yourselves a nice cold beverage, maybe a sandwich. I know it's only like 10 in the morning, but I have a 1-year-old. Oh, sorry, yeah, YouTube. I always forget to say goodbye to the YouTube. YouTube, you know the deal. Comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @the Wossy. Look after yourselves until next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.